You are looking at the only place we know of that has all three: water, oxygen, and a solid surface. Yet over 90% of the human population has never seen it. And if you have seen it, you're part of the 1% of people who have left Earth. So what is this mysterious place? Is it Mars or the Moon? In October 2020, scientists detected a strange signal from space that turned out to be a radio wave. You say something, and then you hear it repeated back to you by the surrounding environment. It's a fun little phenomenon that we're all familiar with. But what if I told you that you could hear an echo of a galaxy that is billions of light years away? But there is one star that is defying the odds. It is a red giant that is slowly fading away, but it will never die. Its light will continue to shine for billions of years to come. How is this possible? What makes this star so special? The sun is shining, and the birds are singing. It is the perfect place to live. But what if I told you that this island was actually a spaceship? I'm talking about the millions of pieces of junk that are floating around in our atmosphere, from old satellites to bits of paint fleck. There is an estimated 500 million objects of various sizes circling our globe. And the worst part is that we're creating more and more space junk every day. As we continue to launch rockets and satellites into space, we're adding to the problem. And as these objects reach the end of their lifespan, they become part of the space junk cloud. This is not only an eyesore, but it's also a hazard to our planet. If a piece of space junk were to collide with a satellite or spacecraft, it could cause catastrophic damage. In fact, in 2009, a defunct American spy satellite collided with a smaller craft operated by the European Space Agency, creating a cascade of thousands of trackable fragments. Now, this is not likely to happen again anytime soon, but the risk remains. What if the people who lived there were actually aliens who had crash-landed on Earth and were now living in hiding? And don't forget to subscribe for more videos like this. This may sound like a far-fetched theory, but it is actually something that has been considered by scientists. There are many reports of strange structures that have been found on remote islands that could be evidence of alien activity. For example, there are pyramids that have been found on Easter Island that are unlike anything else in the world. They are perfectly aligned with the stars, and there is no evidence that the natives of the island had the technology to build them. There are also strange rock formations that have been found on other islands that seem to be too perfect to be natural. These are just a few examples of the evidence that has led some to believe that aliens are living on Earth in secret. Of course, there is no proof that this is true, but it is an interesting theory nonetheless. It turns out that this star is made of a strange and mysterious substance that does not obey the laws of physics. They are the ultimate cosmic vacuum cleaners, sucking in anything that gets too close. Black holes are creepy in many ways. First, they are invisible. We can't see them or feel them in any way. We can only detect them by observing the effects they have on nearby matter. Second, they are incredibly dense. A black hole with a mass of just a few times that of our sun can be as small as a few miles across. This means that the gravity near a black hole is extremely strong. Third, they are constantly growing. As a black hole sucks in more and more matter, it becomes larger and more powerful. Eventually, a black hole will consume enough mass to become a supernova, a massive explosion that blasts huge amounts of energy and matter into space. It is a quasar, which is a very bright and distant active galactic nucleus. Quasars are powered by supermassive black holes, and they are the brightest objects in the universe. They're also extremely far away, which makes them appear as just a point of light. We think that this star might be a quasar because it is so bright despite being very far away. But we are not sure because we have never been able to observe it up close. It sounds crazy, but it's actually possible. Here's how it works. Someone who looked like they didn't belong in the time period they were living in. Maybe they were wearing clothes that were too modern, or they were using language that didn't match up with the era they were supposedly from. These types of people are often considered to be time travelers from the future. But what if they were actually from the past? What if time travel is real, and people are traveling back in time instead of forward? There is actually evidence to support this theory. For example, there are many historical records of strange lights and objects in the sky that could have been spaceships. There are also numerous stories of people who claim to have met time travelers from the past. Of course, these accounts can't be verified, but that doesn't mean they're not true. After all, if time travel is possible, then anything is possible. So next time you see someone who seems out of place, ask yourself, are they really from the future, or are they from the past? Light travels in waves, and when these waves hit an object, they bounce off just like a ball hitting a wall. It is a remnant of the Big Bang, the event that is believed to have created the universe. The cosmic microwave background was first discovered in 1964. And it was a major piece of evidence for the Big Bang Theory. It is a snapshot of the universe as it was just 380,000 years after the Big Bang. The universe was hot and dense at this time and filled with light. As the universe expanded, the light stretched out and cooled down, eventually becoming the cosmic microwave background radiation we see today. The cosmic microwave background is important because it allows us to study the early universe. By studying the cosmic microwave background, we can learn about the conditions that existed in the early universe, and how the universe has evolved over time. The same thing happens with sound waves. but they bounce off of matter instead of just light. So when light hits a galaxy, some of it gets bounced back towards us. Because these galaxies are so far away though, the light takes billions of years to reach us, and by the time it does, we don't know what it looks like anymore. It could have changed over time, or been destroyed completely. But we do know that there are echoes of galaxies out there, and we can hear them by listening to the right frequencies. Just imagine sitting out in your backyard one night and hearing the faint echo of a galaxy that's billions of light years away. It is a humbling experience that makes you realize how small we are in the grand scheme of things. The signal lasted only a few minutes, but it was strong enough to be detected all the way from Earth. But there is no way out. There is no escape from the clutches of gravity. Once you enter the gravitational pull of a planet or star, you will never be able to leave. You can try traveling faster than the speed of light, but you won't be able to outrun the gravitational pull. You can also try traveling in the opposite direction, but you won't be able to outrun the gravitational pull either. You are trapped forever. So what does this mean for us? Does it mean that we are doomed to spend the rest of eternity trapped in this solar system? Not necessarily. While we may never be able to leave our solar system, there are still so many amazing places to explore. With advancements in technology, we will be able to travel further and further into space and discover new and exciting things. Who knows what we may find out there? It was coming from the direction of the M81 galaxy, which is located about 12 million light-years away from us. At first, scientists were unsure about the source of this radio wave because it was so powerful. They could unbelieve that it would travel for 12 million light-years and then across our own galaxy. But they eventually determined that it had come from a magnetar, which is a type of neutron star with a strong magnetic field. Magnetars are known to emit bursts of radiation when they are formed, but those bursts usually last for days or weeks, not just a few minutes. Scientists are still trying to figure out what caused this short burst of radiation. It could be that something unusual happened to the magnetar, like a collision with another celestial body. Or it could be that we are just not understanding magnetars well enough yet. Either way, the fact that we are still in the dark about what happened is a little unsettling. We are so used to being able to explain everything with science that it is scary when we encounter something that we can't explain. Pause the video here if you want to make a guess. Welcome back. Here are 10 creepy facts about space that you didn't know. Space is full of mysteries that even science can't explain. If you thought the vastness of space was daunting before, just wait until you hear these facts. You may even be scared to look up in the sky again. Let's get started with number 10. Number 10. Planet 9. This is a hypothetical planet, 9 times the mass of Earth, that is floating around our solar system. The idea was proposed by a couple of astronomers after they noticed that some small icy objects had unusual clustering in their orbits. They hypothesized that there must be something big, perhaps 5 to 10 times the size of Earth, pulling on these smaller objects and causing the clustering. NASA has not been able to confirm this hypothesis, but the idea itself is a little unsettling. Imagine a planet that is so massive it affects the path of other celestial bodies, but is still hiding in the shadows of our solar system. Even more frightening, if such a planet did exist, it would be closer to Earth than Pluto. No. 9. Signals from space. Number 8. Echoes of distant galaxies. When you're out in the middle of nowhere, far from any civilization, you can hear an echo. Number 7. No way out. We live in a universe full of stars and planets. Number 6. A star that doesn't die. Every star in the universe eventually runs out of fuel and dies. Number 5. Time travelers. Have you ever met someone who seemed out of place? Number 4. The cosmic microwave background. This is a faint glow that fills the entire sky. Number 3. Living on an island. Imagine you are on a tropical island surrounded by crystal clear water and lush green trees. No. 2. Black holes. These are regions in space where gravity is so strong that nothing, not even light, can escape their grasp. Number 1. Space junk. Our planet is surrounded by a cloud of debris, and I'm not talking about the smog and pollution that plagues our cities. What do you think about these creepy facts about space? Do they scare you or excite you? Let us know in the comments below. Subscribe for more crazy and horrifying space facts.